I've been reviewing a lot of videos on YouTube, been going to a lot of websites, checking out different political candidates, trying to get a feel for the positions and the ideas that the different candidates, both Democrat and Republican, are proposing. I had some questions for Hillary Clinton. So, of course, I went to her official webpage and I logged into her blog, had to sign up, then, gave your name and all that kind of stuff, and I did. And I left my questions for her, and they refused to post them. I found that very interesting. I think your candidate really needs to listen to the people and needs to respond to the people. And so that Hillary is a check against you. I'm sorry. But I wanted at least to still post these questions, and I thought YouTube, I like this forum. I thought YouTube would be a good place to offer my questions and to see if Hillary or perhaps someone within the Hillary campaign, or maybe a Hillary supporter could address these questions. I have just two questions at this point in time. One, I have been listening to a lot of Hillary sound bites, and Mrs. Clinton seems to be promising a lot of stuff. Just one example, the $5,000 baby bond. My question is, and that issue is this, not the baby bond, but in all the promises. I would like to see a list of all the promises, just simple spreadsheet that lists all of the promises that Mrs. Clinton has made. And then I would like to see a column next to that list that shows the total cost of these programs that she is proposing. And then a third column, very simple spreadsheet. The third column, I'm just interested in where the money comes from. A simple question, a valid question. I've lost track of all the promises, so that's why I kind of want to see the list. And I'm having a hard time fathoming the total cost. So I proposed to the Hillary webpage, and of course they rejected it, that they provide a list of all of Mrs. Clinton's proposals with an associated cost of those proposals, as well as a outline of where the money's going to come from. That's question one. Question two, I happened to catch a video talking about school vouchers. A lot of people dislike school vouchers, but I kind of on the fence about them. It sort of seems like a good idea to me. If my tax dollars are $10,000 a year or whatever it takes per child to educate them, if that's going to a particular school system, and there's a school within easy distance that my $10,000 could go to, in which I would rather my children attend, it just seems to me like I ought to have the right to do that. And so I'm trying to understand why there's this argument against school vouchers. And I saw this video of Mrs. Clinton, and she said, she thought school vouchers were great. If you were going to send your child to a Catholic school, no problem. Give them the voucher. If you were going to send them to a Jewish daycare, wonderful. Give them a voucher. If you were going to send them to a secular school that you happen to think was the best school in the area, great, give them the voucher. But then she said, but what do you do if you want to send your child to a white supremacist school or a jihadist school? Well, I'm not even sure there are such schools, but she makes the point, and she used that as an example of why not to support school vouchers. Okay, well, I got to tell you, I don't agree in the jihad, the holy war. But, a school that teaches Muslim values to a Muslim parent might be a good idea. So why wouldn't we want a Muslim parent to send their child to a Muslim school? I'm not Muslim. I certainly don't agree in the violence that the radical Muslims propose. But, they're just a small minority. And from what I understand about Islam, for the most part, it's really a peaceful religion. White supremacist? I'm not a white supremacist. I actually don't know anyone who is a white supremacist. But I suppose if you were a white supremacist, and in fact there was a school promotes itself as a school of white supremacy, though I doubt there is one, but if there was one, why is it Hillary Clinton's place, or why is it the government's place, or why is it my place or anyone's place to deny that parent the right to teach his child the way he wants to. You know, there was a very famous American one time who said, "I might not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." I think that speaks right to the heart of Mrs. Clinton's argument. She didn't agree with several of these viewpoints, so therefore she didn't want to see government money go to support the values of that particular teacher. You know, I certainly don't agree with that. There's a lot of things people do I don't agree with, but I would never try to impose my opinion on them. And so my question then is to Hillary Clinton, how do you justify imposing your opinion, your personal values on another parent, on how they should raise their children? Because that's exactly what you were suggesting. And I just want to hear feedback on that. I don't understand how one can justify that in a free country.